Alright, Shalom, and welcome to another show of GMS Collage. Giving all praises to Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai, as first and foremost. Also giving double honors to the elder apostles of GMS who rule well, and also giving honor and salutations to you other brothers who are out there teaching the word in sincerity and truth, and who are of the hopeful elect. I just want to say Shalom to everybody. Today's topic is going to be about I named it how can you not believe? And I was sitting in the car. As I'm in the car, I like to put the videos on from YouTube. I use my phone. I'll put the videos on, plug it into the speakers, and let it play in the car as I'm driving. And I was watching a brother from New York. I believe his name is Amawan Gabar, and he brought up the fact that this solar eclipse is coming up in a couple weeks, maybe a week and a half. The 21st is coming up, so it's the 11th now. So about 10 more days. You're gonna see. Well, you'll be able to see not the whole country, but you'll be able to see a solar eclipse. And I started looking at it, and of course, when you see things like that, scriptures start to pop in your mind. And that brother did a beautiful job bringing out all the scriptures, some that I didn't even think of. And I was like, man, how can you how can you not believe this thing? There's so much going on. There's so many brothers bringing out different things that that bring. I hope this is not perceived the wrong way, but just a thought that's in my mind that brings so much clarity to what the scriptures are saying. The brothers are bringing it out, every day, every week, and this has to be the truth. There is no other thing on earth that we've experienced as so-called black people, so-called Hispanic people, so-called native people. There's nothing in the world that we've experienced since we've been on this side of the world that we can say has spoken so greatly. This truth is speaking, and this is why we call it the truth, because it's the truth and it's speaking. We've been waiting even before we got in the truth for something that was fulfilling, something that was something that could fill this void that we had in the truth. And I'm sure I could speak for everybody. There was this void that was there. You felt like something wasn't right. You didn't know exactly what it was, but you knew something wasn't right. And nothing has ever fulfilled us as this has, man. I mean you've had all kinds of things. You've had Black Wall Street, you've had the Black Panther Party, Martin Luther King's, your Malcolm X's, I don't know, Jesse Jackson, I guess he's influential, right? You've had all of these different so-called black leaders, and none of it has stood the test of time. None of it has grown as this has, because it wasn't the truth. Now you look around now, and you can. I've said this before, but you other camps out there that are not a part of GMS, young and old alike, you started putting your videos up on YouTube, whether or not you knew about the truth before 2007. You didn't start putting up your videos on YouTube until you saw the elder apostles turning up the heat. Other than that, you took that talent and you put it in your pocket. Matter of fact, I want to read that a little bit. I think I don't know exactly what scripture it is, so I'll do it like this. Oh yeah, Matthew 25. I'm gonna read a little bit of this. Bear with me. I don't really have no structure. I got some things I want to read, but just bear with me for a minute. I'm gonna go through a couple of scriptures. It says, let's see where I want to start at here. So I'm gonna read. I'm gonna start at 14. It says, "For the kingdom of heaven." I'm sorry, Matthew 25:14. "For the kingdom of heaven is as a man traveling into a far country, who called his own servants and delivered unto them his goods." It says, and unto one he gave 5 talents, and to another 2, and to another 1, to every man according to his several ability, and straightway took his journey. You see, so the heavenly Father gave us this truth and gave us these talents, and he was going to take a journey. The Lord Yahushua was going to take a journey. So now, what are you to do with those talents, right? So again, as I was saying, I was making a point. Even if you knew the truth before 2007, most of us didn't. Most of us that have, taken the torch that was passed down to us didn't know the truth before 2007 when the elder apostles came on YouTube. But there are men that they came up with that knew this truth and wasn't teaching it, but came back out in 2007, 2008, 2009, after the elder apostles were coming out, and started teaching like they never stopped. Like they never put this thing away. So even if you don't consider the elder apostles or GMS your elder apostles, they are your elder apostles, because of their work, you saw that you weren't doing much, and you came back out and started to do what you were doing. And then those of you who weren't in the truth, you only know about it. You all these people. You got AOC, you got IUIC, you got let's see what else. What's the other one? GOCC, and then the other one over there with Comfy and the Comfortables. They all were on YouTube to some degree, or especially Nate. He was on YouTube, but he was going out with his civvies on, with regular jacket, regular clothes, and him and the other dude, I think his name was Barack Shaw. I don't know his name. They used to call him Hamburger or whatever. And they was out with a karaoke machine. It's just the two of them talking about Israel, and it wouldn't even put much content out, But then when the elder apostles came out, and they were holding camps, and they, that first channel, Great Millstone, that first YouTube channel had like 900 and something, almost 1,000 videos on it, man. Almost 1,000 videos on it, and we're still and we're still putting up videos all the time. So I would try to catch up, and I couldn't catch up because they kept putting up more and more, and I was like, man, this got to be it, And so when other camps started coming out, you have to acknowledge, whether or not you can acknowledge them as your elders or not. You have to know, or you have to say to yourself, like, look, if it wasn't for them, I would look at IUIC and how extravagant it is, right? They got the purple garments, and they got rank, and they go out and they do those military cadences, and they're all organized and shit, right? But they didn't start doing that. They didn't feel the need to do that until the elder apostles put their videos up on YouTube. Until there was a benchmark set, a standard set for everybody else to reach. Then that's when all these other camps started coming out. So they're your elders too, man. Especially you guys who came up with them, but put this thing aside like it was nothing. All right, so I'm rambling. So let me get back to these scriptures. It says verse 16. It says, "Then he that had received the 5 talents went and traded with the same, and made them other 5 talents. And likewise he that received 2, he also gained other 2. But he that had received 1 went and digged it in the earth and hid his Lord's money." You see, and that's what these guys who came into this thing, 91, 92, what have you, and then put it away from them, and maybe still believed. I don't know them personally. Maybe they still believed, but they weren't going out and trading with the Lord's money to get more money, right? So it says, "After a long time, the Lord of those servants cometh and reckoneth with them. And so he that had received 5 talents came and brought other 5 talents, saying, Lord, thou deliverest unto me 5 talents. Behold, I have gained besides them 5 talents more. His Lord said unto him, Well done, thou good and faithful servant. Thou hast been faithful over a few things. I will make thee ruler over many things. Enter thou into the joy of thy Lord. Right. So it says he also that had received 2 talents came and said, Lord, thou deliverest unto me 2 talents. Behold, I have gained 2 other talents beside them. And the Lord said unto him, Well done, good and faithful servant. Thou hast been faithful over a few things. I will make thee ruler over many things. Enter thou into the joy of the Lord. And here's the point. It says, Then he which had received the 1 talent came and said, Lord, I knew thee that thou art an hard man, reaping where thou hast not sown, and gathering where thou hast not strawed. And I was afraid, and went and hid thy talent in the earth. Lo, there thou hast that is thine. His Lord answered and said unto him, Thou wicked and slothful servant, thou knewest that I reap where I sowed not, and gather where I have not strawed. Thou oughtest therefore to have put my money to the exchangers, and then at my coming I should have received mine own with usury. Take therefore the talent from him, and give it unto him which had 10 talents. You see? So now you got all these different guys who came into this thing and came up with the older apostles in that One West school. Now they took their talent and put it away, and now they're gonna try to come out and act like they never stopped doing this thing and want to be called elders. And you guys should be ashamed of yourselves, man. You guys should be ashamed of yourselves. You had this truth and you put it away, man. You put it away, and now you want some kind of reverence. From usward, the ones who are young in this truth and came in around 2007, 2008. You want some reverence, but you don't deserve reverence. You don't deserve it. You put this thing away, and ultimately it was because you didn't believe. You don't believe in this truth. The only thing that you like about this truth is the status that it can give you. Oh, I have this. You know how long I've been around, brother? You know how long I've been around? I've been around for 20 years. And then, expect people to reverence him because of that. I don't give a shit how long you've been around. You're not taking this truth seriously, and you're not showing your faith. Matter of fact, let me real quick. I want to go to this one before I go to any other. I think that's how it goes. Nope. Right. This is James 2:18. It says, Yea, a man say, Thou hast faith, and I have works. Show me thy faith without thy works, and I will show thee my faith by my works. You see? So this is how we show our faith, by doing the work, by constantly putting up shows, by constantly going out on the highways and byways. We're trying to get out of here, man. And doing the work is the only thing that's going to punch that ticket out of here, that's going to stamp that passport out of here, is by doing this truth, man, or doing this work, accomplishing and establishing the truth. That's the only thing that's going to get us out of here. So again, going back to what I originally said, I was watching that brother's video, he was talking about the solar eclipse, and I was like, man, how could somebody not believe that this thing is happening, not believe that this thing is going on? They're looking for something big to happen. They're looking, which all of it is big if you're in the spirit, but I mean, they're looking for it to be like concrete. Yeah, this is definitely the one. But you got to pay attention, man, because even these little things are big things. Like you take even this thing with the Wisconsin, this thing here. A Wisconsin company will let employees use microchip implants to buy snacks and open doors. You look at something like this. This is not necessarily saying that it's mandated, but this is a catalyst to it, man. This is ushering us in to that mandating of the chip, the infrastructure that's being put in place. If you go to the grocery store, do you know you can pay for your groceries with your phone? That means that they have everything set up so that you can pay for things with your phone, man, with the chip. All the infrastructure is set up for us or for the so-called white man, the Edomites, to bring in that lifestyle, man, that mandate. So don't wait for something big. That all these things are big. All the skirmishes between, in Syria, and Libya, the Russia giving out missiles to every goddamn body, like North Korea testing missiles, and all of this stuff is pertinent, man. And it was all written about in the scriptures, all of it. And what does the scripture say? Israel seeketh a sign, or this generation seeketh a sign. I'm not exactly sure how. I'll just do it like this. This is why. Blue Letter is a good tool, because if you don't know the scripture and you know the words, you can type them in. I'll read both of these. This is Matthew 12:39. But he answered and said unto them, an evil and adulterous generation seeketh after a sign, and there shall no sign be given to it but the sign of the prophet Jonas. Right? And what was that sign? Jonas was in the belly for 3 days and then came out. And so was Yahushua. Yahushua was in the belly of the grave for 3 days, and he came out. And that was the only sign that he said we would get. And if you don't believe in that, and that alone, you ain't gonna make it, man. The faith wasn't supposed. And then our people, right? They want something big to happen, but here Yahushua was on the earth doing big things, and they still didn't believe him. So that's not what you need. That's just what you say to justify yourself. Oh, well, that ain't really nothing. That ain't nothing big. That ain't really like the prophecy, because the prophecy said it is the prophecy, man. Everything has its building blocks and pieces. Somebody doesn't say I want to build a house and then tomorrow they wake up and the house is there. No, they gotta dig a hole in the ground. Then they gotta put the what's that, rebarb they call it, that metal, to line out where the cement is gonna go for the foundation. Then they pour the cement for the foundation. Then the cement gotta dry. Then they put up the first wall. Then they put up the second wall, the third wall, then the roof, and then the guts on the inside. And it's a process, man. But even when you see the hole being digged, you should know the house is coming up, man. The house is gonna be in a couple weeks' time or a month's time. You're gonna see a house built, man. And that's how we got to look at these little pieces of prophecy. We got to say, look, this may not be the main thing, but it's a catalyst to it. This is going to carry us into that time. And people, we need to start paying attention to these little things, man. Not only this solar eclipse, which, matter of fact, did I read this one? This second one? I didn't. Let me read this first. Matthew 16:4. A wicked and adulterous generation seeketh after a sign, and there shall no sign be given unto it but the sign of the prophet Jonas. And he left them and departed. See? So let me go to I think it's Genesis 1:21, but I'm not exactly sure. Let me see. Let's see. Bear with me for a second here. Just looking for a scripture in particular. Here it is right here. This is Genesis 1:14. It says, and the Most High said, and the power said, let there be lights in the firmament of the heaven to divide the day from the night, and let them be for signs and for seasons and for days and for years. You see? So the lights in the heaven are for signs and season. But what Esau does, right? They put a timer on it. Oh, August 21st, we're going to be able to see. So you don't look at that as being a sign because it can be timed. But look, the Lord said that the lights in the heavens are going to be for signs and times. So the moon, the sun, and the stars. We don't know how to read the constellation in these times. Maybe some brothers do. I've never seen a brother that did. But those lights in the skies are for signs, man. The way they're configured, the way they lay in the sky at certain times of year, those are all signs. And this solar eclipse is a sign. Here it is, right? We're in a time where a company is getting ready to have their employees chipped, and then now a solar eclipse happening at the same time. A solar eclipse happened in 70 AD when Jerusalem was besieged. So you're gonna say that this solar eclipse is insignificant? This is not, is a light thing? Come on, man. You gotta be excited to we getting ready to get out of here, man. We on the last leg of this race, and we gotta get excited for these times, man. We shouldn't need no big huge thing to happen. We should be focusing even on the littlest of prophecies coming to pass. And why? I'll tell you why right now. It says, this is Revelation 19:10. It says, and I fell at his feet to worship him. The him is Yahushua. And he said unto me, see thou do it not. I am thy fellow servant and thy brethren that have the testimony of Yahushua. Worship the Most High, for the testimony of Yahushua is the spirit of prophecy, right? So let's look up this word testimony. Okay? Let's look up this word testimony. We're going to look it up two ways. We're going to look it up right here in the blue letter, and then we're going to look it up in the Google definition or whatever they have. So it says, let's go down here. Testifying. The office committed to the prophets of testifying concerning future events. What one testifies, testimony, i.e. before a judge. So if the spirit of prophecy, right, is the testimony of Yahushua, that means the prophecies are Yahushua speaking. So even when he's clearing his throat, right, even though maybe he didn't say, that the chip is mandated. So right now you got a company in Wisconsin giving the chip out. So that's him clearing his throat. So you should be, being attentive to what he's getting ready to say. These prophecies coming to pass is the Lord Yahushua speaking, man. This is his testimony. Right? So let's look up the word testimony. I got it pulled up already here. Testimony, a formal written or spoken statement. Right? And isn't the scriptures a formal written statement? Right? Now when Yahushua came here, didn't he speak? Didn't he teach when he came? So this is his testimony, man. These prophecies coming to pass is him leaving his spoken statement. Look, the things that I told you about, the things that I said were going to happen when the end days have come, these things are happening now. Especially one given in the court of law, right? Evidence, right? Isn't that word used in faith definition in the scriptures? Let's go to that. It says, now faith is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen, right? So these prophecies are evidence of the coming of the Lord Yahushua. Now we haven't seen the coming of Yahushua, right? But the prophecies are evidence of that, because he said before he comes that these things have to happen, right? So let's go to from there. Where was I at? Oh, I read that already, the testimony definition. Let's read it one more time. It says a formal written or spoken statement, especially one given in the court of law. You see? So what are the things that he said would come down the pipe? Let's go to Matthew 24. These are some of the things that he said were gonna happen in this time, man. And now they're happening, and you gotta you gotta believe, man. You gotta believe. I'm elated about these times, man. I'm elated about it, and I pray that the Lord Yahushua, the Lord Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua, keeps this fervor in me. It keeps this excitement in me. Keeps this faith in me, and guides me in this time, man. Because this is it, man. This is what we've been talking about. This is what we've been waiting for. This is what so-called black people been waiting for forever, man. And you know what? Fuck so-called black that Israelites have been waiting for. I don't want to exclude those who are Israelites that don't look like John Shaft, as we always say. This is what Israelites have been waiting for all this time. This is what their spirit has been groaning for. The deliverance of our people, man. We about to get the kingdom, man. Just you gotta believe it. You gotta believe it. So this is Matthew's 24:1. It says, and Yahushua went out and departed from the temple, and his disciples came to him for to show him the buildings of the temple. It says, and Yahushua said unto them, see ye not all these things? Verily I say unto you, there shall not be left here one stone upon another that shall not be thrown down. And as he sat upon the Mount of Olives, the disciples came unto him privately, saying, tell us, when shall these things be? And what shall be the sign of thy coming and of the end of the world? And Yahushua answered and said unto them, take heed that no man deceive you. For many shall come in my name, saying, I am Hamashiach, and shall deceive many. And ye shall hear of wars and rumors of wars. See that ye be not troubled. Right. So what are the wars and rumors of wars, right? Aren't there wars going on in the Middle East? Isn't the United States in the Middle East, still in Iraq, right? Preparing to go into Iran, shooting missiles in Syria, right? Aren't other countries in the Middle East? Didn't the scripture say that he would gather them into the valley of Jehoshaphat, the valley of decisions? And that's what he's doing. So those some wars are going on, and some wars are being prepped to happen, which is a rumor of a war, right? So these things are happening. For all these things must come to pass, but the end is not yet. For nation shall rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom, and there shall be famines and pestilences and earthquakes in diverse places, right? So isn't there a famine going on in Venezuela? As we speak right now, people are eating each other, right? Scrounging around for food. There's a great famine going on in Venezuela. Aren't there earthquakes going on in different places? These things are happening. There was an article. I don't know exactly where it is or what it was called, but it was said that this has been the highest rate for earthquakes in the last 5 to 10 years or so. This has been the highest there's been earthquakes in world history. Not just in modern history, in world history. And this is not the end, man. That's not important to you. That's not big enough of a prophecy for you, right? So it says here. It says, all these are the beginning of sorrows, right? So this let's look at that word beginning. Right? Beginning, principality, corner, first, beginning, origin, the person or thing that commences, the first person or thing in a series. So this is just the beginning of things happening, man. A beginning of things that are going to be greater, that are coming down the pike, man. This is just the start of it, right? So it says that by which anything begins to be, the origin, the active cause, the extremity of a thing, of the corners of a sail, the first place, principality, rule, magistrate of angels and demons. So this is the beginning, man. This is the start. And these things are just important because you can't, like I used the analogy of building a house, you can't get the roof until you get the foundation laid, man. You can't get the foundation laid till you get the hole dug. So this right now is the hole being dug. This is the cement being laid, the foundation being laid. Right? So let's go back here. It says, then shall they deliver you up to be afflicted, it shall kill you, and ye shall be hated of all nations for my name's sake. So this is also going to happen. And right now it's on a small level, right? Isn't GMS the most hated group on the planet? I just saw a video in my you know how you see like in your news feed. I was reading the comments on some of the videos that I posted. But The related videos was a video from the brother Yashawamba a year ago. It said Israel is, GMS is the one that's making Israel look bad, and then there was a question mark on it. But I remember that video was some camp, and they was out there rapping. They had their garments on, but it was I think it was the Hebrews are coming or something. It was comical, but GMS, to get back to the point, is the most hated group, right? So it says, and then shall many be offended, and shall betray one another, and shall hate one another. This shit is happening at a extremely high rate, man. I don't mean to make light of it, but it's funny because this is happening at such a high rate. You got these guys who leave GMS. And they betrayed us, man. We sat down and ate food with these men. We shared food with these men, money with these men, thoughts with these men, and they use it against us, man. It's incredible. You got this guy Yakanan, right? Who broke bread with GMS, and especially the elder apostles, in the studio with the elder apostles, receiving money from the elder apostles. And he admitted it, and still used that experience and betrayed us, man. You got guys who saying that the elder apostles didn't learn from them. These niggas is fucking prideful, man. So this is happening. Though that is a prophecy. A man leaving from the body and betraying that body that he left from is a prophet. It says it right here. And then shall many be offended. Let's look up offended. Who got offended? Many of them, man. Because they got rebuked, or because the elder apostles may have said something they didn't like, or, they didn't have a counsel for that. Whatever it may have been, they got offended, and they betrayed the elder apostles. Let's look up this word, betray. Okay, it says, to give into the hands of another, to give over into one's power or use, to deliver to one something to keep, use, take care of, manage, to deliver up one to custody, to be judged, condemned, punished, scourged, tormented, put to death. And this is what they do. They took that information that they got when they was around us and gave it to another. The bottom line is you people don't believe in the Lord Yahweh Shai. You don't believe in Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. You don't believe that the Lord Yahweh Shai has the power to set men up, man. That he has the power to make men of renown. They thought the same thing of the apostles in the book of Acts, perceiving that these were unlearned men, the scriptures say. So they didn't believe the apostles either. And it's the same people coming back in this time. So that's a prophecy, man. That's a prophecy. Yeah, it's a small thing, right? But it's a catalyst. It's a beginning of sorrows, man. Right? Verse 11. And many false prophets shall rise and shall deceive many. This is happening. I forget this dude, was it Yahweh ben Yahweh? It was at one time when I was coming into the truth, there was a video clip of him saying that the one that came in the scriptures, he was a prophet that was prophesying of me. I'm the one. That dude is probably somewhere dead. I forget who that was, man. That dude is probably dead. People play with this thing, man. This ain't nothing to be played with. Verse 12, it says, and because iniquity shall abound, the love of many shall wax cold. And that's what's happening, man. These guys that left GMS, or that left the truth altogether. Right? But he that shall endure unto the end, the same shall be saved. And this is what we hope for. We hope that the Lord Yahweh Shai gives us a spirit to endure to the end. Let's look up that word, endure. It says to remain, to tarry behind, to remain, i.e. abide, not recede. Let's look up that word, recede. Go or move back, or further away from a previous position. Retreat, go back, go down, move back, move away, withdraw, ebb, subside, abate. This is what these people did. You motherfuckers you gonna pay, man. What am I doing here? Alright, so it says to persevere under misfortunes and trials, to hold fast to one's faith in Yahweh Shai, to endure, bear bravely and calmly ill treatment. So even when so what? You got rebuke, right? But it says here to endure, bear bravely and calmly ill treatments. Oh, it's a damn shame, man. It's a goddamn shame. All right. Let's see here. I want to get to some of this other stuff here. Let's jump down to 32. It says, now learn the parable of the fig tree. When his branch is yet tender and putteth forth leaves, ye know that summer is nigh. So likewise ye, when ye shall see all these things, know that it is near, even at the doors. You see? So these things are here, man. The chip in Wisconsin being implemented. And I told my lady the other day, I said, you get that thing, you on your own, man. Because you think like that's going to be the only way you're going to be able to eat. That's going to be the only way you're going to be able to make money and so forth and so on, man. Banks will be outsourced because all of that stuff is going to be in your chip. And if you notice, right, they're moving further and further away from human workers, right? So like, for instance, right, you got the customer service at the bank. You can always go to the bank if you're having if you're having trouble with your apps or whatever you have that you use online for banking. You can go into the branch and get it figured out, right? But they're moving further and further away from it. I tried to log on and pay one of my bills yesterday. I was in the car pissed off because they got this goddamn recording. Please say some brief information of what you want, and I'm trying to say it. Sorry, I didn't hear you. Oh, sorry, could you repeat that? And now I'm cussing the fucking thing out. Put me on the phone with a human. And then they say, okay, well, give us your social security number so I can verify your account. And then the human gets on the phone and asks me for the same information I just gave the damn robot. So they're moving further and further. And then they got these people over there in Durga land over there, in East India, and they over there. Sorry, sir, can I help you? And you can't understand this. This infrastructure is moving towards using that shit, man. Make you annoyed by doing things on your own, making you annoyed with the system as it currently is. So then when that chip gets implemented, you think it's a form of convenience, but you take that shit if you want to, and you're on your own. So it says, so likewise ye, when ye shall see all these things, know that it is near, even at the doors. Verily I say unto you, this generation shall not pass till all these things be fulfilled, from the smaller things to the greater things. Heaven and earth shall pass away, but my words shall not pass away. Right? So aren't these prophecies his testimony? So his words will not pass away. But of that day and hour knoweth no man, no, not the angels of heaven, but my Father only. But as the days of Noe were, so shall also the coming of the Son of Man be. For as in the days that were before the flood, they were eating and drinking, marrying and giving in marriage, until the day that Noe entered into the arks. And this is the same thing that's happening now. Even though we as the stead of Noah are telling you that this flood is coming, you still want to do the same things that you do in the world. And this is why you came against GMS, the elder apostles. You wanted to go back into the world, but you wanted to justify it. There were some things that the elder apostles required that wouldn't allow you to do the things that you were doing in the world. So now here's your justification. Oh, they ain't the elders. That ain't what that mean. You bunch of Negroes, man. Niggas. That's what you are. Bunch of African Americans. Fucking. Oh man. So I went on way longer than I wanted to. There's other scriptures that you can go into. Let me do one more, man. I don't want to cut it short too bad. So this is 2nd Ezra 15:1. It says, "Behold, speak thou in the ears of my people the words of prophecy." And aren't the prophecies happening? Right? You can go on. You can go. I recommend that you watch that brother Ariala, and most of the time that brother Rakaya Kwam is with him, doing those algorithm shows. But watch them shows, man, because what it does is it helps to make sense of what the prophecies are saying, and it helps to make sense. Like for those of you who watch the news, sometimes I watch the news and I'm confused about what's going on. So when I watch those algorithm shows, it helps to make sense of those things. Watch those shows, because those are prophetic shows, man. It says, "Which I will put in thy mouth, saith the Lord, and cause them to be written in paper, for they are faithful and true. Fear not the imaginations against thee. Let not the incredulity of them trouble thee that speak against thee." Right? So let's look up this word right here. Right? I'm gonna copy it and then go here, paste it. Let's see what it says. The state of being unwilling or unable to believe something. So you see? So and that's what's happening. And that's how I started the show was, how can you not believe, man? All of this stuff that's going on, all of these prophecies that are coming to pass, how can you not believe? What is wrong with you? What do you need to see? What is it that you need to see? We had this one guy, Ravar was his name, and he used to come to the camp and talk about, when I come out here with y'all, they gonna listen to me, and once I get out there with my garment, I'm a command, all this bullshit he was talking. Never came out. But what he said to me one day, he said that that he I can't even, now the thought escaped my mind, but he used to say things like he was going to school to be a teacher, and when we talked bad about Boyz II Men, this is years ago, we talked bad about Boyz II Men because they were in the truth, but they still out there doing shows singing "Let It Snow, Let It Snow," and he's like, "Oh, but that's how they make their living though, that's how they gotta." Nah, man, when you hear this truth, you gotta put away all of that old shit, man. Because you're Boyz II Men, are you above being looked at in a bad light by teaching this truth? Now they doing commercials talking about I don't know if y'all saw that commercial about pooping and farting and having gas, and this is what they've been reduced to, man. And they got the truth. They know they're Israelites. Why don't you sing a song about that? So I just wanted to go into those couple of scriptures. Hopefully the point was made. Hopefully it was edifying. These things are happening, man. These things are happening, and don't make light of the smaller things that are happening. Take them into consideration, because you need those lighter things for the bigger things to come. So with that, I want to say Tawadi Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, for allowing me to teach this truth, allowing me to take part in this truth, and also double honors to the elder apostles of GMS who rule well, and also honor and salutations to you other brothers who are out there teaching the word of sincerity and truth, and taking this thing seriously, and understanding that this thing is coming, man, and understanding that you gotta take part in this truth and this work in order to get out of here. So with that, I want to say shalom.